With the next Mayor of London being revealed on the 6th of May, mayoral hopefuls have been releasing their manifestos and campaigning across the capital. High on the priority list is to tackle crime in London. Police recorded over 47,000 offences involving a knife or sharp instrument in the 12 months to September 2020. The Ben Kinsella Trust, a charity set up 13 years ago to tackle knife crime through education and campaigning, say opportunities for young Londoners is one of the best ways to reduce crime on the streets.
You know, we're living in the shadow of the City of London, one of the great wealth creators in the world, and yet many of the young people who live close by see no opportunity for them in London, don't see them as part of London and its vibrant economy. And we need to do more to help to break this idea that you're limited by where you live, or you're limited by postcode, to create an opportunities for young people that they can seek real employment and with a real chance to develop themselves in a positive career path. And we know too that unemployment and knife crime are linked. Studies have shown that when youth unemployment increases, knife crime increases, and vice versa. So it's really important that we tackle this issue, particularly in a post-COVID world where we know there are going to be economic challenges, and often young people bear the brunt of those economic challenges. So that's a really important consideration for any new mayor to consider, is about not only how do we get the city working again, how do we get young people involved, and how do we break this idea that you're limited by a postcode. The approach that needs to be taken is one that needs to extend beyond any political term of office. The next mayor, whoever they are, needs to come in and not only look to tackle the issues as set out in their manifesto, but also needs to not just work across government, but cross-party. We need to look at a consistent approach over a long period of time. Sadly, I don't think we will tackle knife crime in the next mayoral period of time. It's been going on for over a generation. It may take a generation to resolve this. That doesn't mean to say that we can't make significant steps to reduce it. But what we should not see, and Londoners will be failed if suddenly after the next term of office, we throw this all up in the air again, and we start with the political squabbling, and we fail to address this issue as it is, and it is a generational issue, and we need to tackle it as such.
The reality of knife crime has affected many families across London. Shaun Daniel was stabbed inside Hillingdon Station in West London in September 2019, while he was on his way to watch a football match.
I'm still in a state of shock about what happened. It's been a roller coaster of emotions at the moment. I'm hearing wonderful things about my son. I knew he was a great person, but I'm hearing on a daily basis amazing things about him. Amazing things, and I am so proud to be his father.
Shaun didn't go out, wasn't a drinker, wasn't a party guy, wasn't on the streets aimlessly. When I first met him, he had a full-time job. With Tashan, I look for perfection because he is perfect. He is the only person that I could say is a perfect human being. People say to me, oh, this is such a shame that happened to him. He was a good kid. No, he's not a good kid. He was a perfect kid. He was perfect. There was nothing wrong with him.
The two mayoral candidate frontrunners, Sadiq Khan and Shaun Bailey, have said they want to hire thousands more police to help stop crime in London. But is placing more police on the streets a solution?
There's more to tackling crime than just having more police officers on the streets. So it is likely that having more police officers could increase public confidence. For example, the number of people around the country who reported that police foot patrols were highly visible more than half between 2009-10 and 2018-19. So in that sense, having more officers could perhaps change that. That said, the research that the Institute for Government and the Chartered Institute of Public Finance and Accountancy has done found that the mix of crime has changed quite a bit in the last few years. For example, there is more online crime and fraud than before. Tackling this, for example, would require more funding in digital skills for police forces or perhaps specialist training for officers. And most importantly, we've also observed a rise in complex, serious and organized crime, such as child sexual exploitation and abuse or human trafficking. Because these are quite different from street crime, these crimes can be more challenging for the police to respond to, and they require quite different resources than having just extra police officers on the streets. So having extra police officers could help increase public confidence, but it's unlikely to be as effective against complex, serious and organised crimes.
Sadiq Khan has pledged to invest more money in community and sports projects for young people and continue his £45 million Young Londoners Fund, which he started in 2018. He has also promised 1,300 more officers on London streets. Shaun Bailey has said he will use Home Office funding to hire 8,000 new police officers and install high-tech scanners in the capital to find concealed knives. Shaun Berry has said she wants to save officers time by deprioritising the policing of cannabis. Long-time campaigners for the decriminalisation and regulation of drugs, the Green Party has vowed to stop officers using the smell of cannabis to justify stop and search. Louisa Porritt has pledged to restore community policing by increasing the number of local ward officers. The Lib Dems also want to set up a London-wide youth service to help coordinate school activities for young people. The mayoral elections will take place on the 6th of May.